All right, happy Throwback Thursday. I always love Thursdays. Just fun to see all the pictures people put up on social media of themselves, back in the day and their crazy hairstyles or clothes they wore, or, in today's case, people they dated. Saw a guy's picture that literally had the head cut out of somebody else, but they liked the picture of them so much that they kept it. Today's kind of an out-of-the-box topic for me, talking about relationships and that kind of thing, as far as, people are always in different situations. It's amazing to see what types of people end up together. And I had somebody reach out to me this morning, shout out to Christina Main. She has been watching some of these videos I've been making here and sharing some of these thoughts, and, she liked what I was offering, and just chatted with me a little bit and asked a question this morning, if I was married or single or whatever. And I told her, I've been married for almost 10 years in January. And she said, wow, that's awesome. And so what is the secret, right? what is the trick to having a relationship that can last that long, and for me, it's pretty simple. And, before I share the actual advice that I have, I want everybody to realize this is advice. This is not necessarily concrete. This is what I found works for me and my own personal experience. And that's kind of how it works for everybody. Is so, what I would say to that is, first of all, you have to be in a good place yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to understand the value that you personally bring to the table. You have to know who you are. And a lot of times that's more so where people fail in connecting with somebody else and having a long-term relationship, is that they're confused in themselves. They've never found who they are, or what they're about, and what they want to be involved in every day, and who they are as a person. And so you go into a relationship and you're still mixed up in who you are. You can't bring somebody else into that equation with you. You've got to be in a place where this is where I'm going, these are my goals, this is what I'm excited about, and that sort of thing. And connect with people who have those similar interests, first of all. Okay, so that's kind of a universal factor in life. But, beyond that is, once you've kind of got an idea of who you are, then you can look for, someone else to share that life with you, okay? You've got to design your life. You cannot design a life built around the needs, wants, and interests of someone else. So you have to come first. Nobody's going to take care of you but you. So if you don't pay attention to yourself and what you need, your whole life and everything around it is going to be tough. So what I would recommend is, once you have kind of developed some of your own self, don't go into a relationship with personal needs and personal desires as, lost you there. You have to go into a relationship with the mindset of finding someone, okay, and this is the big secret right here, big reveal, drum roll, finding someone that you can tolerate at their worst. All right, so you might want to write that one down. This is really my big secret, is the beginning of a relationship is simple, okay? It's very driven by natural biology. We are physically attracted to people. We see how they present themselves, the way that they, do their makeup and their hair and their clothes, and how they walk and how they talk and that kind of stuff. And that helps, okay? You can't, be attracted to somebody without those things. But you have to take it to a deeper level. You have to get past the superficial stuff that is only what meets the eye. You have to look deeper into, who is this person? Do I like the way that they laugh? Are they somebody that takes good care of their personal hygiene? Do they have similar interests in music? Okay, this is kind of that next level, right? This is where you start to get to know somebody. This is the dating period. This is, figuring it out. But at the end of the day, if somebody is compatible with you, None of that stuff really matters. If you find someone that puts their needs at an equal level with your own, somebody that is willing to look at themselves and say, I need this and I need that, but I also want to make sure that this person gets that same amount of attention. If you can find somebody that you can see the value in them regardless of whether it's first thing in the morning and they wake up and their hair is everywhere and they have no makeup on and, you know, their clothes are whatever they fell asleep in and totally wrinkled, and, you know, that's, you know, kind of, at least for women, when they feel like they're at their worst. You know, if you can physically get in the worst fight possible with someone and never ever get to the point where you want to call that person names or do something to physically harm them, you know, everybody's going to have their quarrels. But if it comes down to you simply don't agree on whatever the topic is at hand versus I don't like who you are as a person, you know, if it's simply a situational conflict, that can always be resolved. Time will heal those kind of wounds. But if you cannot handle somebody when they are, you know, just at their worst, when their mindset doesn't meet yours, their thought processes are on a different path, you know, they cannot control their own personal emotions and reactions to things, their focus is on themselves more than anybody else, those kinds of things, those are deal breakers. Those are the people that it will never work. You know, it will never ever work regardless of how many things you think you have in common or how pretty the person is. None of that is important. We all have good and bad days, good and bad times in our lives. And if we can find somebody that we mesh with, that literally we can put ourselves on an equal plane with, we're able to see that person's needs as important as our own, then you can make it work. If you know, it's built on superficialism, money, looks, whatever, it's gonna fail. And so, you know, for the message of the day, realize that the only way for that relationship to be beneficial for both sides is if things are built on good principle, on a good reason for that relationship to be there. Not because you're trying to take advantage of the situation and get something from the other person, you know. It's because you genuinely feel a mutual respect for this other individual and you want them to have a small portion of your life as part of their daily life, you know. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. A little bit of an off topic and throwing this out there for you. So if you have something you want to hear about, definitely hit me up anytime. You know, I love to be able to share my ideas and thoughts and see what people have to think about that. So again, appreciate you guys today, and we'll see y'all next time.